15 episodes of a podcast through Zoom.
Remember, I thought
you didn't know about the chat?
I thought podcasts were alive up until I was like 40 years old.
Nah, classic John.
I mean, all the stuff we could have been saying behind your back, man.
Yeah.
You missed out on a golden opportunity there.
Alrighty, we are live, and it looks like the streams are good.
Okay, how many viewers do we
Audio
have?
person who's been regularly talking John in the chat.
How many calls do we have on the line, Matt?
Oh, are you serious? 3.
Okay. Yeah. Let the first caller in. Caller, you are live on the pre-show for the Poetry Takeover.
We do need a national call-in show for local poetry.
Yeah. Do they have that?
It's like 90 minutes.
I'm looking for a new project.
I might. Oh, Mom, you missed earlier when George showed us one of his. He's got 17 reptiles at the house.
17 animals.
Animals, I'm sorry. Yeah.
12 of them are reptiles. No, 11 are reptiles.
11 are reptiles.
I think.
Snakes.
Yeah.
6 of them are snakes.
6 snakes.
6 snakes.
6
Spiders.
pythons, a crested gecko, leopard gecko, a bearded dragon, a Herman's tortoise, a black widow spider,
Ooh.
4 different tarantulas, and a hedgehog.
And a
Oh,
hedgehog.
my.
And a hedgehog.
Oh my god.
Oh,
How
5
do you-
Oh, mommy.
I didn't even see you press the button. You're just that good, huh?
It's actually a foot pedal.
I think you've met everyone before, Mom, except my friend Cheryl. And I've known Cheryl ever since I had the plant business, Glass Garden. She was a big supporter of me early.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. I still have some of those plants that are alive
And
that I stole from Glassville.
This is like so silly and vulnerable, but I'm gonna say it in front of you and in front of my mom. Like, Cheryl called me an artist,
And the world.
and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm an artist." And you said some things to me years ago that like made me feel good, and like sometimes that pops in my head when I'm just like in a weird place. I'm like, "Well, Cheryl told me I was an artist."
That's yes.
always
I'm
culture.
available for that for anyone. I will tell you good things. If you tell me who you are, I will say it right back to your face.
Yeah, I always remember. Like, I can still remember that really made me feel good. Yeah.
I'm so glad. You
Yeah.
are an artist, Don.
Yeah. Oh, I needed to hear that. Words of affirmation. And I don't know if you ever met my friend Alfred, Mom. You know him just from podcasts and.
I don't think I did.
No.
I don't think I met anybody in person.
No, I would never let you do that. Maybe Patrick. No.
No, I didn't even. I don't think I met Matt in person. I met Matt Cole.
Yeah, maybe at the
At the theater.
theater. It's been
Oh,
years.
yeah.
When he had really short hair.
That's right. I was such a square.
He was a square.
Oh, you had short hair too, John.
I know.
I know.
It's my mom in the chat saying, "John, cut your hair."
If anybody has seen Heidi Peelan or Alex Hall, they are scheduled for this show. Please, if you're listening, if you see
Is this
them
an
out-
APB?
Putting out an APB.
As a former teacher of Heidi Peelan, and she was a student of mine when I had a former life as an art professor, and she was a Glassville studio artist. I love her, but she will be what is it?
On and off.
Late. What is the term?
There's a reason why I put Heidi in the rundown in that space, because she was supposed to do the show last time and her internet went out like 10 minutes in.
It's gonna be awesome when she
Her
shows up.
internet.
Oh, wow.
Also, I think Alex Hall may show up at my house.
I also know I've known Alex for a really
So
long time.
perfectly, Alex.
With
That makes sense.
with a notebook and like a Diet Coke and a pencil.
So I got my second vaccine, but I think I'm gonna like just hand him the microphone and then walk away and just let him do what he wants.
That'd be awesome.
This is why you need a wireless rig, Matt.
Oh, great! Now I need to spend more money.
I once drove across the state with Alex.
No
We
way.
were at a yoga jam, music and yoga festival, and he just like his ride. I don't know what happened, but he ended up riding back with me, and it was fine. I was driving like 5 hours by myself. It was fine, but we ended up just listening to music really, really bad, like female 80s and 90s pop music, and just singing the whole way.
That's
It
him.
was great.
And knowing every word.
Every word. I mean, there was definitely a whole lot of Mariah Carey going on in that car.
That's funny.
That's cool. Wait, so how did you know him? Just from around town? or-
He came to my yoga studio. A whole bunch of us from the yoga studio
Oh yeah.
had went to this festival, and there was like really sketchy weather happening, and it was like, are we gonna stay overnight camping and in the rain, or are we gonna leave? And I was like, I'm leaving, and he's like, I'm leaving too. Can I get a ride? So
He's like, do you like Mariah Carey?
I'm not even the biggest Mariah Carey fan, but it's really when you see somebody else's joy.
Yeah, yeah,
It's fulfilling.
yeah. Oh, I miss him. He's funny. I miss him.
Yeah, I did too. But you know, you may see him tonight. He may show up at your place. Who knows?
He has been here. He helped me move in like 3 years ago. He helped me carry like 3 big things. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's absolutely a guy who will help you move.
Yeah, he's
That
very
is
nice. He's very nice.
Is he the basketball guy?
Yeah, yeah. Mama used to play basketball with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I just got a text message. Yo, getting my laptop real quick from Alex.
Yes.
Is he getting it from Heidi?
Yeah. He's like, finishing up a yoga jam. No.
All right. Well, tell him we got 4 minutes till showtime, but no rush. It's fine. But tell him there is a comic book talk show right after this at 9. So if he comes at 9, he's got to talk about comics.
Well, let him figure it out. He can go through the chat and find the stuff.
Is this Sean's new show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan Burton's gonna be on talking about Black Panther.
Cool.
I don't know when we're doing it, but I'm supposed to be on with my dad.
Oh, nice. What are y'all going to talk about?
I don't want
Or
to
is it a
spoil it.
surprise?
You'll
Okay,
have to
cool.
tune in to find out.
God,
I'm
I
going to be
hate
on next week.
fucking spoilers. Yeah, Patrick, tell us what you're gonna talk about.
I'm going to be on to talk about something.
God damn
Cool.
it. Here, I'll do something magical. I'll look at the event.
Our title of our episode is inspired by a comic that we are not talking about. I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
The old 1-2.
You set them up and then you knock them down. The old rope a dope.
Get smart lately. Is it, would you believe something about nothing?
Matt, are you gonna tell your father that you want to talk about comics, and you get him on Facebook Live, and then you hit him with like a real personal question from 20 years ago?
No, John, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, then I won't be tuning in.
Okay, hard.
Actually, the whole show is just a con to get my father to deeper connect with me on an emotionally deeper level.
hard traveling comic books with Patrick C. Taylor.
Hard traveling.
Hard traveling comic books. I don't know what that means.
Who knows?
Well, let's tune in to
I guess
find
you'll
out.
just have to tune in to find out.
That probably refers to like the hard traveling hero.
Who's that?
Nicolas Cage.
You know, I guess like Incredible Hulk was a hard traveling hero show.
No, I'm thinking more like the cowboy out west, though. The real.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, I probably have this completely wrong.
Spaghetti Western comics, Patrick?
About
The
comics
cartoon
that
hero
I
that took
spilled
too
spaghetti
much
onto,
Viagra.
and yet I'm still trying to read them. You know, the various comics that you had that you loved, but you spilled something on them.
Oh, fuck me. All right.
And
Matt,
now
you're
you
not-
always
Viagra.
associate the smell of like Honey Nut Cheerios with that one issue of Moon Knight from the, from the
Rainbow
1990s.
Fruit Loop stain.
Yes.
Matt, you're not even
Yeah,
on the schedule yet.
Moon Knight's outfit is now rainbow
No,
colored.
I'm not doing mine for a bit.
And if you're lucky, there's still a dried morsel that's stuck to the page. You can have a snack while you're reading the book.
Yeah, it's sort of like when you get to stick a gum in with the trading cards.
Okay, let's see. We got a minute till showtime. Break a leg, everybody. You guys are awesome. Everybody turn off your cameras except for Matt Holman. I'll introduce Matt Holman. And Matt, you can introduce your co-hosts. You'll know when the time is right. We got a minute till show. You guys can keep talking. 55 seconds.
Alex.
What did you say, Alex?
Yeah, I'm changing my whole. You know what? I'm dedicating my 5 minutes to a poem about Alex I just wrote.
All about him and Cheryl's card trip.
Alex, you are my hard traveling hero.
Alex.
Guys, what rhymes with Mariah Carey?
Mariah Berry.
Portsmouth Ferry.
All right, 10 seconds. Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Productions and earprov.com presents the Poetry Takeover with your host, Matt Holman.
Hey out there, poetry heads and poetry lovers. Thanks for tuning in to the Poetry Takeover. Before we go ahead and get the show started, I want to introduce my two co-hosts. You might know this gentleman from the hit improv team, Ravens Hollow County Players, and one of the co-hosts of the Johnny September Takeover. We have John Wharton co-hosting with us.
Hey.
Hey, John. And then also our good friend Patrick. Oh, wait, let me do a better intro. You might know this gentleman as a member of Kamikaze, as well as an award-winning screenwriter, Patrick C. Taylor.
I thought I wasn't gonna get the applause. Thank you. I only brought my camera on because that introduction was quality enough.
Thank you. I really try to do the best I can for you guys.
Thanks.
Oh, I'm like, okay, am I going to be the only one talking? That's fine with me.
All right, let's make this as awkward for Matt as we can. the entire.
So wait, the co-host also has another 3 co-hosts.
What?
No, everyone in the show is a host.
We all have like a pet host with us as well. Anyway, have we oriented people to what they're watching yet?
No. So this is the Poetry Takeover. This is our second show. This is a monthly show on Earprov. Unlike a lot of the other Earprov shows, which are improv comedy or stand-up comedy based, this one we have some poets that we have brought on to read some of their work. It may be funny, it may be serious, but whatever it is, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Some of us have been here before. Some of us, it's our first time reading, or some of us just haven't read in a while. And I remember when someone told me at one point, they're like, "Hey, some poems need to leave the page," and that always stuck with me. Like some things need to be expressed out loud.
Awesome. Well, this is going to be a great venue to do that.
And it's going to be a wonderful venue. Oh, hey, look, we have a cameo. Alex, turn your camera off. Just a quick hint at one of the many talented poets that you're going to get. A very quick hint. Turn off your camera.
Turn your camera off, Alex.
Turn your camera off, Alex. Alex Hall, turn the camera off.
I don't know how.
You, Alex
Do you see where it says stop video in the bottom left?
Yes.
There you go.
As artists, we are organized. We are.
Look, we're creatives. We don't understand this technological world. We like to feel things, taste things, touch things.
I'm not even wearing pants.
Yeah, John, but that's par for the course, no matter whether you're at home or just out and about.
Oh, that is true. That is true. All right. Looks like we have how many readers? How many posts do we have, Matt?
So we have 7 poets lined up. No. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 poets. We have 6 poets lined up to feature tonight. So you know what?
And everyone gets 5 minutes if they want to read 1 or 2 or 3, and we'll be a little bit flexible with that. And then we will encourage our friends that are listening to drop some comments in the chat, but also those here that are partaking, they can clap, they can snap, they can just be themselves, because we miss a little bit of that audience.
And
Hey,
we
if
are
you really want to support the poets and everybody, if you really want to show your appreciation, go to the donate button at earprov.com and donate to Push Comedy Theater, from which a number of us came. And that has brought us up. Many of the best poets, such as Heidi Peelin, cameo by Heidi Peelin. Hi, Heidi Peelin.
Hi, Heidi. Turn off your camera.
Turn off your camera, Heidi. Turn your camera off, Heidi. All right.
So
who knows what poets we're gonna have?
I think we should just call this show "Turn Your Camera Off."
So Heidi and Alex
Heidi
and Alex that are joining us a little bit late. I know they can hear us. If you hit the chat bubble down there at the bottom, it'll pop up on the right hand side and give you some more directions. And I know Matt, our producer, is already on that with them.
So yes, please do not forget that you can donate at Earprov. We are collecting money for the Push Comedy Theater, which has been closed for pretty much a year, almost to the day right now, because of the pandemic that is raging outside. I know they've got some in-person shows coming down the pipeline, so just keep your eyes and ears open for that. But you guys probably don't want to hear from us anymore. You came here for poetry, not for very good, very professional co-hosting. So let's go ahead. Let's welcome our first performer tonight. I'll let you take the intro for this performer, John, since I know that you guys are buddies.
Well, thank you. That makes it awkward, as I just hit the wrong button to minimize.
Wow.
To minimize the screen. Okay, our first performer is a friend of mine, Alfred, that I've known for 15 plus years. We have a lot in common. We actually spoke on the phone today. Intelligent, funny guy, Alfred Crane.
Turn your camera off, John.
Hello, thank you for having me tonight. I guess I just read or something.
Yeah, just go ahead. It's all you, buddy.
All right, a lot of these came when I've got I suffer with a illness or disease of Parkinson's, and I would have trouble sleeping, and I had some travels and some events happen that I wanted to get back to, and I think a lot of that's inspired by this. But this is the first one, Glimmers of Hope. Glimmers of hope beam in my hot head, yearning for places unseen and already been. Rough seas behind, smooth seas ahead. I do not know, except for the hope beaming in my head. My dreams carry me till I arrive at destinations known and unknown while I am alive. For time ticks and talks away, like the wind in my hair and the blood in my veins. Now is calm, my cats sleep, the crickets chirp, some others weep. I alone with friends around, dreams to travel the world abound. In my head till my feet touch the sacred ground.
Thank you, Alfred. If you have another one, you can keep going.
Yeah. This is a shorty but a goodie. While the earth and its inhabitants slumber, I walk through the deserts of my mind, longing, yearning, and thirsting for waters of life. Gray horizons appear, yet their life eludes me, wandering, still searching for that which lies inside me. This one's called I Sit. I sit watching the light night slither by, listen to the misty rainfall on drenched ground, wondering what lies beyond my vision of sight. Mind, oh mind, so infinite and vast, Set before me pathways, a many of which I must be careful not to intertwine, or imbue anxiety as I look to which thread to pull, and yet being careful not to entangle anxious fears with visions of plentiful life and happiness. Knowing there is a path for me to take is scary, yet comforting to my lonely heart. Yea, no, for power greater than me waits for me to come home and guide me. Only when I seek and ask, the Almighty is there, interweaving, and guiding my footsteps home to a place I have not known before. Yet have always been there, with unseeing eyes and heart, distracted by many golden slivers, things of materials which lie in piles, waiting for recycle. For our lives are not meant to be a consuming one, but a producing one, magic fires of forges deep in the hearts of man, woman, and children, looking for home when it is inside, right inside the lush cornfields. Surrounding me, the harvest is not what I think it is to give. What's in a day? Hours, seconds, minutes? Or is it filled with opportunities, friends, walking with the Spirit? Is it currency spent wisely or foolishly? Is it rest when needed instead of filling in one more FOMO event? Is it quiet time instead of noise? Is it accomplishment instead of fear of trying? Is it an outpouring of love for self and others instead of trying to steal joy out of life? Paying attention to those about you, be they people or pets. Let my day be filled with love, laughter, and accomplishment. Let this day be a day of rest tempered with accomplishment. And I'll wrap up with this one. This one I needed you to get out of bed. Some days it is hard to get out of bed. Get out of bed anyways. Some days it is hard to get out of the chair. Get out of the chair anyways. Some days it is hard to get dressed. Get dressed anyways. Sometimes it is hard to get out the door. Get out of the door anyways. Sometimes it is hard to do the things you like to do. Do them anyways. Some days it is hard to show up. Show up anyways. Some day is just difficult. It's okay. Open up, pray, reach out to a friend, be a friend, laugh anyways. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing, Alfred. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to keep things moving, and we are going to move right into our next person, our next poet. So, John, if you could turn your camera off.
Turn your camera off, John. Turn my camera off, Patrick.
This next poet is a friend of mine. I like to think of him as a force of kind chaos. He is talented, and he writes poems. Please welcome John Wharton.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you to all my friends. Alfred, great job. I really liked your last poem. I think tonight I'm just going to read one and give a little bit of context. So my younger sister, Sarah, went through a brain cancer operation maybe 18 months ago. And some of you that are close to me know a lot about that. And she's actually doing fantastic right now. I mean, really doing fantastic. But there's a time when things were very scary. Brain cancer, that's very scary. And so I was going through a time when people were reaching out to me, asking me, hey, what's going on with her? What's going on with you? They're texting me, sending me messages. And I was having these conversations in my head with people. And there's people I was ignoring and not getting back to. And this is really what was going on in my head. People are like, John, how are you? Food doesn't really taste the same. I tear up when I hear her name. I know all this is temporary, but still it fucking hurts. Yesterday, I made some girl laugh, but then today I second guessed myself. I hope it gets dark real soon so I can hide away. Hey, I got your text and your phone call. I'm pretty good at responding to all, but sometimes I just want to walk and make up poems in my head. I understand it can't be cured. I curse my friends who say they are bored. I told a stranger about my life. I wrote a long email to my ex-wife. I had popcorn twice for dinner, and I left my shoes out in the rain. I wasn't sure what to do, so I just showed up for you. I think that's what big brothers do. We laugh away the pain. And that's all I wanted to share for tonight. Maybe I've shared that with other folks.
Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
So just want to go ahead and remind everyone that you can donate to the Push Comedy Theater if you head to Earprov. You can put in donations. We actually have a few donors to thank here. First, we got a $25 donation from Snow White.
Ooh.
On behalf of my fellow poets, break a leg. Thank you, Snow. We also have a donation from Poetembe Rhyme Tumbo, who tipped.
Alex hit mute.
Alex hit mute.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe put in headphones.
We got a donation from Poetembe Rhyme Tumbo, who tipped $10, and he said, "Love me some poetry on a balmy night." Thank you, Poetembe Rhyme Tumbo. So don't forget that you can go ahead and donate to go to Earprov, to donate to the Push Comedy Theater, help get some money to keep it open. John, would you like to introduce our next poet? I feel like that would be best.
Sure. Our next poet is she bore me. Is Bora
Jesus.
He bores you? No. Is that a verb? No.
God help us.
Our next poet is someone that's always supported me. I'm just glad to have you here again with my friends. And this is my mom, Ellen Wharton from South Carolina.
Thank you. My first poem. I think of this poem as a micro moment. It's a tiny slice of time between day and night. And just as a forewarning, it has old-timey references. In that moment between day and night, that gray face of dusk, lights dot houses, stars in the street, someone turns on the kitchen light to start supper. Going home from work, traffic stacks at the corner. Secretaries lock drawers, cover tires, throw their gum in the hall trash. Bosses loosen their ties with one hand, stuff papers into a briefcase, and small boys drag sleds and hockey sticks home for dinner. My next one is a story about a girl, and the time in the poem shifts from present to past and past to present. My mind snaps shut sometimes, even my shoulders tighten. I'm always waiting in front of the church, worrying that someone is looking over my shoulder, that they will notice I'm not smiling, not shaking hands, or being invited for coffee. There was a girl once, traveling by bus, alone with a few books. The window seat was taken. She extended her legs in the aisle. All the men looked down, noticing that she was wearing stockings, maybe for the first time. Now she's hiding again, those lovely legs in the seeds of a mind without air, water. Not talking to anyone for so long, her throat dried up. When she coughed, it was not the sound of a young girl, but an old man, a heavy smoker, thick and wet with words that no one had ever heard. And when my daughter was in third grade, there was a girl in her class that was deaf, and my daughter Sarah, she taught herself sign language so she could communicate with this girl. We would see them every morning, her mother and her, we would see them every morning. And so this is called In the Car Line. I see you with your daughter. She is pretty, blonde, and deaf. When you talk with her, your hands are in the air, your fingers in a silent ballet. I think about your daughter, her soundless well, her endless echo, her small hands separating words, floating through the air like the wings of butterflies. There's not a flightless bird in her sky. Like the sound of snow, even the stars have a cushion. That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you. I like what you said about the micro slice of life or hyper focusing on something. I really I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Bye.
Really sweet. Turn off your camera, John's mom. Matt, we can't hear you right now.
I forgot. Sorry, I put my headset on mute.
Once
Wow,
again, the technical marvels of this show.
guys.
Poets and technology.
I gotta be
constant
honest.
Battle.
This might be the most awkward co-hosting I've done ever. But once again, it's not about us. It's about the poets. Also, John, turn your camera on.
Turn the camera on, John.
And we actually have a few comments I'd love to read. First, some donations to thank. Thank you so much, friend and featured performer on Earprov, Eva Lorraine of Terror. Tip $10. Snaps for all of my creative friends. Thanks, Abby. Said that was absolutely beautiful in regards to the last poem. I agree. I love poetry, and that's yeah. Maybe I should just stop talking. Patrick, it's all you. Take it away.
Yeah, I too love the poem tree that is occurring on this podisode. All right, who's next? Let me try and find the rundown in all these comments. It's Matt.
I'm going to have you introduce who's next up, Patrick.
Oh, yes. Next up is perhaps the finest or the least finest poet we have here tonight.
Oh, shoot.
Yes. Please turn your camera off, Matt Holman, so you can turn your camera on, Matt Holman. Coming to you directly from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Matt Holman.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to read a few selections from a collection that I'm doing right now, which I'm calling the Mixtape Project. It's still a work in progress, where it's just poems inspired by some of my favorite songs. So I'm just going to read them, and we'll see how they go. So this one's called Track 1, Someone Else's Arms. When I woke up next to you, your strawberry blonde hair smelled of that time that I picked the dandelions in the overgrown field behind my house, unaware that they were weeds. I brought them home, put them in a glass, waited for my mother to see them, puffs of flowers flying into the wind. Something died that day, a mess of expectation and innocence, and I tried to gather the dandelions up. Instead, I opened the door to the porch, swept them into a pile, and watched as they slipped through the wooden slats into the darkness below. So this next one is called Track 2 Boxing. It's inspired by the song Boxing by Ben Folds 5, if anyone knows that. Every day is a fight, and you are Rocky. Put on your boxing gloves, your weapons. Feel the crack of your weary knees. Get up off the sweat-soaked mat. When the punch comes, lean into it. Your bruised shoulder will take the blow. When your head can't take any more. Spots of blood dotting your vision. The bell rings, the crowd cheers, howling for your blood. Don't give them the satisfaction. They want you to fall and stay there. And every fight ends with a loser. In life, we all lose someday. So get up and shout, is that all you got? And then brace for the next hit, because it's coming. And I've got one more. This one's really short. This is track 3, I Am Easy to Find, which is an awesome song by The National, if you've ever heard of that band. Regret always pulls me back to you, like two pieces of shit whirlpooling around the drain in a flushing toilet. And that is it.
I like it.
Imagery there.
I liked your idea, the mixtape idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, I've been working on it. I've got about 4 or 5 more that I'm still figuring out.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that Ben Folds 5 song, Boxing.
Yeah, it's so good. When I met Ben Folds, I don't know if I've told you that I've met Ben Folds.
Wait, was it in Chicago?
We have
No.
5 minutes.
When I met Ben Folds, he mentioned that song is actually a dialogue. He wrote it as a dialogue between Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali, which I thought was really interesting.
That's cool. May I introduce our next poet?
Well, hold on. We got to thank our donors. Don't forget you can donate at earprov.com. Johnny September tipped $10 and said, "Where there's people, there's power." So thank you, mysterious Johnny September, whoever you are. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next poet.
Let's see. Oh,
which one of you guys would like to introduce? Because
I'll introduce. I'd like to introduce him. He's a good friend of mine. I haven't seen him in a while. Besides when he popped on camera there a little bit earlier. He's a good friend, a daily writer, an intelligent, creative human being, and I now present you with Alex Hall.
Hello, everyone. Well, I had a bunch of poems, but they were supposed to be in my phone stored. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this off the spot because I don't really have anything right now. So here we go. John is a great person, and I love that he likes to go working. And my name is Alex Hall, and I play basketball. Sometimes with Brad McMurrin, sometimes with other people on the courts. Oh my gosh, it's really fun. Sometimes you go back, and sometimes you go forth. I don't know where I'm going right now, but we live in the city, and there are no freaking cows. I mean, cows got spots. Some are black and white, some are brown, and some don't wear pants that are tight. But all I got to say is the pandemic has been really systemic, and it's hitting people really hard. But I got to say, we got Colony Avenue, we got Hampton Boulevard. My dad's a farmer, and he grows his chard. So here we go. I'm going to rhyme with the bars, so let me keep it real hard. I already used that word. But let me say, people are doing everything they can. And I don't know a guy named Stan, except Eminem wrote about him one time. So let me keep it real. Let me just kick the rhymes. Let me kick and spit it. And then I want to do Too Legit to Quit It. But like I said, I still do smoke cigarettes, I will admit, and I'm not really fond of that. Sometimes I throw a fit, but I don't have any regrets because you got to love one another. Here we go. Let's give each other a virtual hug and act like we're brothers. Okay, that's my one. I guess I'll do another one. Thank you, everyone. So let's do a topic, I guess. So let me look around the house. Topic is lights. Oh my gosh, here are the lights. They're so freaking bright. I don't even know I want to be naughty. No, I want to be nice. But let me give some advice. You got to be kind to people, and you got to one love everyone because everyone is equal. Sometimes some people go to church. Sometimes people go to a steeple. I don't know if you're not religious. I'm not. But here we go. You got to have a spiritual person and maybe smoke a little pot. Don't do that. It's not good for you. But if you want to, who am I to judge? Here we go. Everyone, what rhymes with judge? I don't even know. Maybe pudge, maybe pudgy. But it's all good because we're all equal and we got all rhymes serenity. And I guess I'll stop right there, but maybe I'll go a little more. But here we go. The rhymes are not going anymore. One love. I think that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Alex. That was a delight. I enjoyed that very much.
Alex, I love you, man. You're awesome.
Are we sure he didn't write that down?
He doesn't write anything. He's on to the next thing.
No. Wait, did I come back? No, I didn't write it down. I really did have like a bunch of stuff on my phone and I don't know where it went. So no, I didn't write it down. But yeah,
It's okay.
Well, it was great, Alex. Thank you for sharing.
Don't ever write anything
Thank
down,
you.
Alex.
Thank you very much. Turn your camera off, Alex.
Thank you, Matt, Patrick, and John.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Awesome.
turn your
Okay,
camera
I'll
off,
get up.
Alex.
Turn your camera off.
Oh, great job. Great job, Alex.
Yes, great job.
We have a comment from our friend Lorraine of Terror that just says, "A human being."
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
I think that's how we introduced someone at one point.
Oh, me. I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah, a human being.
Next up is an automaton.
Next up is another human.
Wait, hold on. Real quick before we move on to the next thing, just want to remind everyone that at 9:00, right after this show, is the Funny Pages, which is a comic book talk show with our good friend Sean Devereaux. They have special guest Jordan Burton on, who you might know from Yelp. I was really proud of that. Anyway, Jordan Burton, who also uses my printer for printing things. So they will be talking about Black Panther. So if you're interested in tuning in after that, after this show, that starts at 9. So just wanted to remind everyone that that's out there. Want to remind everyone to donate. Wanted to remind everyone that it's a beautiful day and you're alive and you're listening and watching poetry on a Thursday night from the comfort of your home. So be happy about that.
It feels like a Friday.
I know. Well, it's just because like my sense of time is all screwed up. There's just no other way to put it.
You should see someone about that.
Well, that's just because like, I've basically just been in my house for the past year.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, is this a poem?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
This is one of the ones that was on Alex's phone. I found them. I was the one that stole them.
May I introduce our next guest? I would like to.
Please do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to. So our next guest, I'm so excited she got to join us. A friend of mine. She's a very talented artist. I've got to know her a lot better this year. Hilarious. You got a great sense of humor. Share with us one of your talents tonight, Heidi Peelan.
Thank you, John. Okay. It feels really lonely in here when you're the only one on the screen. And I've never read any poetry before, but I did practice this at a doctor's office parking lot. So I'm very excited to share that. And it's really written down in comparison to what we just heard. So let's do it. Some things come from no thing. I could sit more comfortably. I could die a little. In fact, I do from day to day in reaching night to night. And you can tell me I'm doing good or being brave or that you worry for my mental health. None of it would change the interiors. Imagine the Patagonia clothed and Tom-shoed couples strolling through the cathedral of my ribs like they do on the Home and Garden channel. Spacious. Not a lot of closet space, but I think we can make it work. I'd like a little more of a mantle. Oh, and Jeff, this pink tile got to go. Cathedral was probably a bold choice. My innards might look more like a ransacked Baptist church, Southern, no doubt. Echoes of an overly vibrato soprano sputtering just as I am, hymnal number 123. You can hardly hear it over the more important conversations about open concepts, repainting. Paint swatches are named what we aspire to own, but will really never find in a gallon of overpriced work. Restful periwinkle, lazy lilac, twirling girl. Will you be reminded of the feelings you had at first pluck when you're wiping sweat from your forehead in midsummer's heat with window unit air conditioning, praying God will kill you in your sleep before this heat does? Maybe it's the fumes. We forget how much color can impact the mental health. You are happier in your newly shellacked box because electric pistachio is not just HWSG 562, but rather a feeling of having acquired the wealth, waking from the dream to find it your reality. To Oprah up your life and realize you did what you had to do what you want to from now on. From now on. from this moment right here until eternity. Well, isn't that encouraging? Everything we ever dreamed of. Thank you for seeing me when I'd rather not be seen. Okay. And then I got one more. It's a little heavier. Do I have time for one more? It's not as long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little heavy, and it's not really a poem because I don't really know. I just put words into things. So I'm sorry if it's like offensive to like poets. Okay. Can you help Grandma clean off the top of her hutch? Dusty would have been an understatement. 89 years of your life's possessions shoved into a 12 by 12 foot corner spare bedroom. I clear the space and cough on lint and dust, disguising themselves as dandelion seedlings, flying around, wispy, invasive. She begins to scoot the 2 urns from her nightstand. Wait, Grandma, I'll move those. They're going to be very heavy. It was Grandpa and her middle child, my uncle we lost last year. This particular day was Grandpa's birthday, and I thought to ask if we should sing for him. But chores took precedent, and I climbed down from the chair to go pick him up and lift him onto the hutch, dust him off, and lift him above my head to be placed closer to the ceiling, closer to God. Panicked, I called out for Mom to balance the chair I was standing on or something. I couldn't imagine dropping him all over the beige carpet on his 87th birthday. The thought too much to bear, and it was as if the already very heavy granite box got heavier. Conquering the anxiety, I moved on to arranging the still life atop the wardrobe. The cross in the middle? Do you want Uncle Lynn more catty-cornered? I think the flowers look good there too. We didn't sing happy birthday. And somewhere in all her shuffling items about to dust beneath them, she lost the note. It was a little card. She's growing out of breath and flipping through envelopes on the bed, napkins on the nightstand. I had it just here with his picture. Her voice is growing shaky, and I thought I could die. We'll find it. I remember the card. Mom hears us and circles back to the back bedroom. What is it? Grandma begins frantically describing it, but never removing her eyes from the piles of clutter in search. He wrote what he always wrote on my cards and letters. It was for a birthday present he gave me. It's all I have in his handwriting. All my love, always. Mom and I catch eyes, and we know we have to hunt high and low. I remembered seeing it after he passed, once the room was finally arranged now for one, his scribbly font on a small, limp piece of cardstock. After a half hour of searching, I went to microwave a brownie from Mom's kitchen. They were still warm in a pan on the counter. I'm an emotional eater. Finny.
Thank you for sharing. I was very offended that wasn't a traditional poem. We want strict forms here.
If you don't mind handwriting that and sending it into the judges through the mail so we can look at that. Everyone in the chat says they love you offending poets. And I think George says it's a badge of honor.
Let's go ahead. We've got a few donations to thank. Dave Garrity fan Sestet 9 tip $5 and just says poems. Oh, poems. I thought they misspelled home. I got it now. I figured it out. I think we just go ahead and just keep this moving. We're on a hot streak of poets. Let's get our next one up here. Patrick, do you want to take this introduction?
I do not.
Okay. John, you want to take this?
I don't think I could do this wonderful man justice. I think it would be impossible. I think only John Regan Wharton can give the proper introduction.
Okay, John, it's all you.
Okay. Our next poet is a reptile and animal owner. He is a daily writer. He said he really started living again his second life when he showed up at the 35th Street venue. He's been a supporter and a friend of mine. We run in some of the same circles, and I'm glad that he's here today to share some of his mind and some of his writings. George.
That was so much better than I would have done.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me, you guys. So, poems and shit. All right. I'm working on a new project that I'm calling Poems I Stole from My Imaginary Friends. So we'll do a couple pieces from that. Some of them are short, some of them are a little longer, and I'll get out of your hair. This is actually the opening piece. My friends and I have sat here together, silently, hours at a time, trying to figure out which one of us is the imaginary one. That's that. This next one. I use the term friend loosely. In most cases, it's hard to make out their faces, whether they're in the mirror or a window or a puddle. One looks like a Wharton, though. Stern, tense. He's holding a clipboard. I'm not sure what he's writing down, but I can hear the pen grinding against the paper. It sounds furious, like voices in broken homes, like breaks at the last minute. He screams at the top of his lungs, not because he's angry, but because he's terrified. And I pretend to not know why. Another smiles like he knows the punchline to a joke I haven't told, laughs much too late, doesn't seem to take anything seriously. He's both jester and the butt of the joke. He just snickered because he heard me say but. Sometimes he's too much. Sometimes he's not enough. There's one who keeps his face hidden, only shows me the top of his head, eyes fixed to the ground, admires his feet, wonders where they'll take him. He looked up once, but couldn't handle the glare. Keeps his eyes covered these days, but that doesn't seem to keep him from seeing. He's just learned to be selective of what he allows to catch his gaze. He's quiet, not silent, and he prefers to absorb rather than to expel. Then there's the hopeless romantic, who loves as if his life depends on it, loves even when against his own best interest, his heart on his sleeve, riddled with puncture wounds, defiantly, still beating, loudly, profoundly, undeterred, and fully prepared to pour itself out again, and again, and again, and again. The girl is fragile but fierce. She is the advocate, the voice of reason, a walking battle cry for justice, inspirational blanket guardian, the strongest one among us, because she feels the deepest. They say all men have a feminine side. Mine just so happens to wear the pants. I believe she will be the one that saves us. The youngest one, the child, is my favorite. Sings out of key, doesn't care, just sings louder, wears a towel around his neck. It's where he gets his powers. Lives in a blanket fort, the walls are impervious. He tucks me behind the sheets, holds my face in his tiny hands, and tells me that as long as I stop growing up, I'll be safe here. He makes drawings of the rest of us, draws me holding a tissue and wearing a towel around my neck. Do I have time for one more?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll end with something a little bit more chipper. We started writing poems because I wanted to get a girlfriend. So, love poems. This is called Threat Level 143. For those of you old enough to remember pagers, that was how we said I love you when we didn't have text. There has been a breach to my security systems interface. I was not programmed to properly process this emotion. This flutter in my circuitry is foreign to me. I am made of cold steel alloy. This warm feeling in my motherboard simply does not compute. I deal solely in that which is logical, and this emotion does not obey the protocol. When I focus my optic receptors upon her, I get a warm feeling radiating within me, even though I was never fitted with heat coils. Nothing in my data bank has prepared me to engage in the irrational. There has been a breach to my security systems interface. Threat level 143, initiating self-destruct sequence 3, 2, 1.
Oh, love
that
it.
might not go in the book. I don't know if that's going to translate on paper.
just write it in binary. I'm sure it'll work then.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. Yeah. That was great. Thank you, George, for being here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
I'm almost old enough that if I had been more popular in high school, I might have had the chance to page someone that.
There's always 2021.
Yeah.
I like the last line of your first poem about sitting around trying to figure out who's imaginary.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Did any secret comments or gifts or donations come in?
One of our biggest donors, the Hacker Collective Anonymous, tipped us $10 and just said
nice.
poems. So thank you, Anonymous, for all the money. We are at a total of $70 so far. I'm not sure what our goal is. I don't think we have one. I think our goal
was $69, so we've exceeded.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Let's just leave it there. We had one more poet, but no, we nailed it with the 69 joke. We're taking off. Sorry, we didn't get around to you.
We've saved the world.
I felt like there was a sweet moment for like this, for like awkwardness, so I wanted to do that. So I just wanted to just live in that moment for as long as we could, guys.
Welcome to our life.
Patrick, would you like to go ahead and introduce our last poet?
Okay, I'll introduce the last poem, The Ultimate Poet.
I was offering because I realized you haven't got the chance to introduce anyone, and so I want to make sure you get the chance now.
That's true. I now have the opportunity, but look, she already has her video on, so clearly she needs no introduction. Hey, this is Cheryl. Cheryl, a woman abound with poetry and glass and bicycles and all wonderful things. Here is Cheryl Snow White.
Thanks everyone for having me. A big shout out to all the hosts and all my fellow poets. You guys have done a really, really lovely job. I have been spending the last year writing in the notes app on my phone, and I'm just going to read you new things that are very unvetted and come from a place of processing grief and heartbreak and where to put all the love I have in my heart. So at the start of the show, John said that poems have to sometimes get off the page. So this is me getting poems off of the page. I'll start now. Directions to joy. Stop what you are doing. Put on your shoes, grab your keys, walk out your front door. Down the stairs, a quick left turn, unlock the car. Do not look back. Click the seat belt back down your driveway, make 2 left turns. Park in the lot with the green fence. I'll be waiting for you with breakfast. I want to scream at you. Pick me. All Meredith Grey style, fucking pick me. I mean, I'm great, mostly great, and I will love you big. I mean, red and white striped circus tent, big time. Build you a castle, big time. Collect gold medals in loving you at both the Summer and Winter Olympics, big time. And yeah, it's risky. like those guys who explore ocean creatures. There are places in me no one has seen. They are dark. There are absolutely monsters. And sometimes I need forced to rest, to stop and slow down. I will be stubborn about this. You will lose sleep over me, sometimes for the very best reasons. I've been a crutch before, a cycle. Let's not repeat that. Let's make sure that everything from here on out is in pairs, like shoes or animals on an ark or crutches. Preservation. I keep trying to pack you up, stuff your memory into reusable grocery bags, bind every thought in twine, seal you shut with cellophane. I have to figure out a way to keep you away, keep you forever. I am 41 years old and nobody ever taught me how to make preserves. And am I gonna shut you out or carve away a piece of my chest and sit you inside? I didn't understand gratitude until I had known your love, known how to see my love in you. There's a part of me that knows that all of this is very foolish, and a bigger part of me that is just so grateful for it all. And this is my last one. It's not as dark as the title makes it out to be. Just a preface. If I should die, make sure Adrian gets this poem. Imagine a bridge. Is it one we crossed together? This is where I am now, suspended above stories of air, above trees, above river rapids. There are Japanese gardens and waterfalls nearby, and barns, and so much nature. We once bought a bundle of peaches from a roadside stand 3.5 hours from home. We swam in rivers. We swam in waves. We sat outside in sunsets that turned me on like an incandescent light bulb. I am in that glow now, and in every bulb lining every arch on Granby Street. And I'm in the sparkle in the sand too. Watch for me in the summer. And imagine now that we are those peaches ripening together in a brown paper bag in the back seat, and you can still hear me singing Joey by Concrete Blonde in the driver's seat, in the way my vocal cords only sing when I am alone, my whole heart and self releasing. You see me clearly. You love me more at this stoplight in Windsor than you ever thought possible. And I know that you know right then and right there that you are going to break us, that you do not think you deserve something this beautiful, something this damn bright. You were wrong. We were right. And I'm gonna be the reason you take up solo bike rides in your 40s. And one very quick one. Upon inspection of my most recent heartbreak, it was a spectacular ride, a swan dive from bridges, really. Heart bloomed like an open parachute. It was almost reckless. It was filled with grace. It was a fucking breath of fresh air. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing. Those were, yeah. Those
Thanks,
were,
Cheryl. It was awesome.
That was beautiful. And turn your camera off, Cheryl. Turn your camera off, Cheryl. Turn it off. Turn it off. And that was beautiful. It was really wonderful. It was terrific. Turn it off. Thank
Why
you.
do I feel like Patrick's the bouncer of the show? Let's go. We have, like I mentioned, we've got the funny pages coming up at 9 o'clock. And if you're looking at your clock right now, that means we got to hurry and close out this show, or else Sean and Jordan are going to be very unhappy with us. So let's go real quick. I want to thank our donors. We got 2 last minute donations. We got $50 from Archibald Moonlight Graha. Thank you. Wow. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Patrick. Thank you for Archibald Moonlight Graha. And then also we got a $50 from Oh Captain, My Captain. Rest in peace, Mr. J. Evans Pritchard. Which brings our total to $170.
Wow.
Yeah.
And our goal was 169.
That's amazing. Thank you to everyone.
So thank you to all of the donors. Thank you to everyone watching. We do this show the third Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. And like I mentioned, we have funny pages coming up right after this, where our comic book experts will be talking about Black Panther. But I definitely don't want to go out. Oh, we got a last minute donation here from Drea for $10 now. So now we're at $180. Thank you so much to everyone who donated. Let's get our cameras back on, poets, because we want to go.
Cameras on, everybody. Turn your cameras on. Turn on.
Thank you, Patrick. So thank you to all of our poets. Alfred Crane, John Wharton, Ellen Wharton, Matt Holman, Alex Hall, Heidi Peelin, George Mendez, and Cheryl White for performing. Don't forget to stick around for the funny pages at 9 o'clock. I'll see you next poetry time.
I hope
I like
that's not
it.
a sign off.